Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
Forward!
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
Forward!
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
Forward!
Hard work, hard work, hard work.
Fall in.
Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good? Y'all know what it is. It's your boy Trey. E2G Sports Network presents First Formation Morning Sports Talk. So come on and fall in with your favorite bets in the nets. We're here today. I know you might have missed us yesterday, but we're live in effect back in formation. So come on, fall in. What's good? What's good with you? What's good with you? Hey, had to take a little had to step away for a second, had to go do some work, the other job that pays the bills, and take care of some stuff. Fort Polk had this little intramural sports championship last night, so I had to go do some stuff with that. Had to go finish working on and planning on other events. But in any case, that's never here nor there. I'm here right now. We're here. We're in the building. Where y'all at? Come on, let's get to the formation. So, of course, when you got 2 days missed, what's good this morning? What's good with this morning, Miss Roberts? How you doing? Glad to see you in formation this morning. So, of course, when you got 2 days in which you miss conversation, communication, then it affords an opportunity for there to be plenty to talk about. Some trades in the NFL, uh, some things established in reference to the NBA when you come to certain teams. We all going to sit up and talk about it. We got 2 hours to converse. So, of course, we're here for it. So, first and foremost, I want to make sure we don't go without saying thank you, appreciate it. Key Williams, as y'all know, Key, she comes on the show every once in a while. Appreciate her putting together that little intro that y'all was able to witness at the beginning of the show. Greatly appreciated, Key. Shout out to my girl. Check out her cast and what she does. Key in the building and a couple other ones that she does. So be sure to go check her out. Pull up and check her out. Additionally, also when you look at it, the World Series starts today. All them Houston Astro fans stand up. All them Philadelphia Phillies fans stand up. Or if you just riding the bandwagon because they're in your city and you really don't pay no attention to them, it's cool. Claim to fame. That's all it is. So put y'all H's up. I would say put y'all P's up, but due to the fact of where I come from, I wouldn't necessarily say that. But in any case, for the matter, you can sit up, saying Philly, Houston, Philly, y'all might have, I know history might precede, but y'all might have a battle in y'all hands. Houston hasn't lost a game in this season's playoffs so far. 7-0, back-to-back sweeps. They on a mission. Can you stop the rain when it starts to fall? That's all I say. If y'all watch BMF, y'all know exactly what that is. Cutting off the water. That's what Houston been on. I'll give them props what props do. Houston is running amok, running wild. Who's going to stop them? Who's going to check them? Who's going to check the Houston Astros before they reach 4 games in this series? Like I said, game 1 starts tonight, 7:03 exactly Central Standard Time. So all them MLB fans, Houston fans, Philly fans, be sure to tap in, check in to catch the beginning of the World Series. You only need 4 games to fit. Houston done it twice without any opposition. Can they make it a third time? Let me move on. So, of course, just like anything else, the NCAA football is about to go ahead center stage starting tomorrow. This Tuesday, What's good, Kanife? What's going on, sis? Oh, you know why I gotta do something. I gotta brighten y'all day. Beautiful, illustrious day. I hope y'all having a luxurious day. Formidable day is just gonna be full of energy for y'all. Just a great nothing. It's lit. That's all I can say. You got certain things coming up, but appreciate you. Glad to see you in formation this morning, sis. But like we was talking about, the NCAA football, a couple of teams in the top 25 faced off yesterday. Of course, me being who I am and who I cheer for, I needed some L's to be taken. I was hoping that Utah was going to get an L last night. They played last night, faced off against the unranked Washington State Cougars. The Utah Utes, ranked number 14 in the country. The Utah Utes was able to pull off a 21-17 victory with a little help, not help in a bad way. I was about to say help for the officials, just for the most part help due to the fact that they're one second, I'm sorry. Help due to the fact of there was a couple of flags thrown in which equated to them not being able to even complete certain plays, or it was all for the most part it was to the demise of the no, this dude did not. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Um, even to the demise of no, he didn't. I just, I'm sorry. This dude be wilding, man. But to the demise of what ended up being detrimental to Washington State, because it was they had a situation to where they got an interception that would have probably won them the game, but unfortunately, that player that got the interception actually was called on a holding penalty, which negated the interception. In Utah went on down to score or run off the clock and keep them in minimum. Additionally, last night, Virginia Tech faced off against North Carolina State. It was actually a good game. The score also declares that North NC State was able to get the W, winning 22-21. Pretty good game. I didn't get to catch it all, but it was a pretty good game. As again, like I said, I was out doing my thing. Before another congratulations. I know this is a little more personal to me, a little more in my area, but congratulations to the headquarters and the headquarters troop 389 squadron for being crowned yesterday's Fort Pokes Intramural Sports flag football champions for the year. They took care of business. You got to think 12 teams in the pool for a tournament, and you coming out as the 8th ranked team, cutting through the opposition and being coined as an 8 seed and end up winning the championship. They did a tremendous job. It will continue to be said, a dual threat quarterback is a problem, and that's exactly what they had on deck. And he basically showed what he could do. Not to be outdone, the runner-up, of course, the second place going to the 2-4 Infantry Battalion. They did their thing too. Their quarterback had to step up and basically show up. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't the original quarterback. The quarterback got sick, had some issues, and he basically stepped up and took them. They were a 6 seed, so 12 out of 12 teams, a 6 in the 8 seed makes it to the championship. The number 2 seed, 519th MP Battalion, ended up taking the third place trophy, mainly due to the fact that the other team, which would have played them, which was the fifth ranked Medac organization, was not able to play last night. So that, that's what's up. Like I said, again, shout out to the CAF, 389 CAF. And their quarterback stated, he was like, I haven't played quarterback ever. I just was forced into the role. And they were a late entry. Like, I had to do some things to get them in to make sure they was able to play. But they, in the term, they showed up and showed out. So shout out to 389 CAF Squadron as they did their thing. Of course, continuing on from there. Let me see, what was that time frame? Can continue from there. Game schedule. It's gonna be, I wouldn't say barn burner, but there are some key games that are being played as the Ohio State number 2. Let's put some respect on the name. Um, I'm sorry. Putting respect on their name, on their rank, number 2 ranked Ohio State will be facing off against number 13 ranked Penn State in their game, 11 o'clock kickoff. Of course, number 7 ranked TCU will do battle with West Virginia, as West Virginia is hosting. Syracuse, 16 ranked Syracuse will be hosting Notre Dame, as Notre Dame looks to get a W, kind of maybe to move back into the top 25. Number 1 Georgia would take on Florida. Of course, that's expected to be a dub for Florida, but we never know what's going to happen. Here we go, Buckeyes in the building. I see you, Punchline. I see you, Mr. Farrell. I got you, bro. Y'all, if y'all don't, y'all know it's going to be talked about on Monday. Um, Number 8 Oregon faces was hosted by California this week. Let's go Golden Bears. Number 9 ranked Oklahoma State faces off against 22nd ranked Kansas State. Number 10 Wake Forest faces off against unranked Louisville. Nebraska hosts number 17 ranked Illinois. Excuse me. University of Central Florida hosts the 20th ranked Cincinnati Bearcats. The South Carolina Gamecocks in the top 25 as number 25 face off against the Mizzou Tigers. Mizzou stand up. Eric, LaDonna, where you at? Mizzou, are they going to do what they got to do? Third ranked Tennessee, the darling of this year's college football, full force, climbed up the ranks, now sitting at number 3, face off against number 19 ranked Kentucky. Do we have an upset? Does Tennessee take care of business and hold steadfast in the top 3 just before the CFP polls come out, due to come out on Tuesday, where we see who is currently slated as the top 6 teams in the country, who are the top 4 teams looking to go to the national championship. We get to see it Tuesday. Number 4 ranked Michigan takes on their cross-state rival, Michigan State. Maybe not going to be too much, but we'll see. Number 15 ranked Ole Miss takes on visits Texas A&M, coming off a loss. Texas A&M not as formidable as we thought. If you thought about all the smoke that Jimbo Fisher had popping off when they was talking about the whole NILs and how Texas A&M recruits and how basically Alabama does all the type of recruiting, a 3-4 record doesn't say much for what was considered to be the top recruiting class in the country. Yet they sit at 3-4. Of course, worse things could happen. We'll see how they could turn it around over the course of the next couple of games. Pittsburgh will be traveling to North Carolina, taking on the 21st ranked North Carolina Tar Heels. And of course, lastly, Stanford will be hosted by 12th ranked UCLA for the top 25. We understand this is just the top 25. Of course, there's a plethora of Division 1, 2, and 3 teams that will be playing throughout the course of yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and probably even Sunday. Some teams in which we don't hear about. But the top 25 is where it's all at, and that's the rank of your top 25, of course. I don't know if y'all see any upsets, hearing about any upsets. I think Syracuse could potentially be upsetted. That's a possibility. Notre Dame and Syracuse is always being rivals. That's always a tough fight. Although UGA is favored by 22.5 points, we don't know. Georgia might can run into a buzzsaw depending on how Florida's feeling. Kansas State could potentially upset Oklahoma State. I doubt Nebraska will do that. Mizzou might be able to upset South Carolina. Is there a possibility for Kentucky to upset Tennessee? I doubt there'll be an upset from Pittsburgh. Well, no, Pittsburgh possibly could upset North Carolina. Stanford to upset UCLA. Ole Miss might be upset by Texas A&M. Those are all possibilities. But of course, I don't know. Can Ohio State be upset by Penn State? Is that a possibility? Hey, it's all a possibility in state is. If that happens, then if Tennessee gets their dub, they move into the number 2 spot. And yet then we have another potential SEC versus playoff laden game. I figured you was gonna say that punchline. I got you, brother. No, you know what I'm saying? It's all not possible. Ohio State's been rolling. They took care of business versus Notre Dame. That was probably about their closest game. They handled that and been rolling ever since. And Notre Dame has trended downward. But anything's possible. Again, like I said, Tuesday, the top 25 will come out. I had to get that time frame and when it was. I'm very sure they're going to do a special show to name the CFB College Football Championship rankings, different from the AP poll usually, as they do a little comprehensive deep dive, a little different of a committee that does naming for those teams. But basically, what you see as the top 25 now could potentially not be that. The AP poll will be their top 25 will still be there, but the CFP is going to take precedence. And now you're going to be looking at different things. So Alabama might be back up in there. Oregon, USC, it's a plethora of teams, but it's going to shift. It may shift a little bit, especially depending upon the games this week, and of course the play in the other past 7 weeks. I'm sure they will punchline. Alabama's going to get back in there, at least in the top. They're already number 6, but they're going to definitely be in the 6, or they could maybe be named as number 5, number 4. Put them in position because you still have teams that have to play each other. That's in the top 4, i.e., Ohio State and Michigan have to play each other. If they continue to stay number 4, number 2 and number 4 over the course of the next couple of weeks in the CFP, that is, they got to play each other. Someone's going to possibly fall out. I think Georgia has to play Tennessee next week. So you already got, if the CFP keeps the same 4 as it is right now in the AP, you already got a 2 seed, number 1 and number 3 has to play each other next week, as a matter of fact. And then number 2 and number 4 will play each other sometime down the line or at the end of the season. So set up. That's why we got to get out the Pac-12 and move on to the Big Ten. Oh, so that's what we have for the college top 25. I'm sorry, hold up. We gonna come over and run the buck. We gonna come running through the Big Ten like them cats, like them degenerates run through the woods in wrong turn. Oh my goodness. What's up? What we got next? Moving on to the NBA. Let's do that. Let's move on into the NBA. Oh gracious! I ain't gonna let you. We're not gonna get into that punchline. I could go off on the movies, being on a whole different tangent. So NBA recap. Well, no, we're not gonna recap the NBA yet. First and foremost, let's talk about your man Dame. Portland guard Damian Lillard is currently out 1 to 2 weeks with the calf strain, which of course he will be reevaluated. He during his game with the Miami Heat earlier in the week, he had the calf strain, injured his calf, walked off the court. So of course that calf muscle will be keeping him out for the next 1 or 2 weeks. He's going to expect to have an MRI, which that MRI is going to be done. It's going to reveal how bad is it. Currently, I think it's listed as a grade 2 strain. Other people or other organizations dealing with injuries it's crazy, like doing this and covering this and having to go in and read and come and not pay attention fully to just my squad or select squads. It's significantly mind-boggling how all these injuries come about. Excuse me. Um, the Washington Wizards will be without their best defender, perimeter defender, and forward DeLon Wright, as he currently has the 6 to 8 week hiatus after suffering a grade 2 hamstring injury. Of course, we against Detroit, they played Detroit Tuesday night, and he's going to be down out with that. So with that being said, it's like they're down another person. When you look at it, just being Bishop was just talking about the other day about hamstrings. I think I've suffered a hamstring uh, injury one time, and it wasn't pleasant. I had about 2 weeks off. It wasn't a bad one because once I kind of like felt it, I kind of like pulled up, and then it caught me at the last second, and so I basically left off. Was out 2 weeks, I think, and came back and played on it like the third week. I had to. I felt like I had to. I really had to. So I didn't get further injured or anything like that. Iced it down, rubbed it down, kept it insulated, and was able to recover. I guess you could say a speedy recovery for what was my first hamstring injury. Um, but yes, he's going to be off out 4 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. Additionally, you can almost call this for the whole squad, the New Orleans Pelicans, in all which we're looking at. Like, okay, they're doing look like they're going to be doing some great things this NBA seasons. They're going to have a good potentially. Well, correction, they have one person that's going to be out. Brandon Ingram is currently going to be out because he's still in the concussion protocol, as he's going to miss probably the next 3 games. Being one of their games, they have a game against Phoenix tonight. Then they travel to Los Angeles, and they will be taking on the Los Angeles Clippers and the Los Angeles Lakers in the course of the next 3 games. So they're going to be without Brandon Ingram. Additionally, they have 5 players that's questionable. Zion Williamson is questionable. As yes, yeah, for real, for real. Clippers. They got the Clippers, the Lakers, and Phoenix. So that's a slate in which they can go potentially 1-2, 2-1, or 0-3 if LA finally decides to get their stuff right. Uh, uh, Tore my ace. And meniscus. Yeah, I haven't felt like I've. You know what? I'm knock on wood. I have never had an injury, a surgery, or nothing like that in my life. 46 years old. Never had any type of nothing outside of course, oral surgery, which is not anything. And yeah, no type of surgery outside of that, or I guess a major surgery or even a minor surgery. But like I said, knock on wood, gracious, and appreciate that. But yeah, so like you said, Zion Williamson is potentially out. He's questionable. He had the back injury that he sustained playing against Utah Jazz as guard. Jordan Clarkson blocked his dunk, and he lost his balance in the air, came down. Um, Good defender, perimeter defender Herb Jones. He's out. Same thing. Back tightness in the back. Jose Alvarado, their point guard, another good defender. He's potentially out. He has back spasms, and then of course you have an ankle injury from Dyson Daniels, as well as a finger injury from C.J. McCollum. So they all could potentially be out. I don't think it's going to happen for him. Maybe definitely they're probably going to do some treatments for those back injuries, keep them on bikes, keep them warmed up. Um, that hamstring might be a one hard to overcome for Dyson. The back spasms, of course, we know those can come at any time, so that might be a little hard for Jose Alvarado to overcome. And then CJ might be able to get away with playing with just a finger injury. I'm not sure what hand is on. Greg Oden. I hope he doesn't have that type of career. Punchline. That's not what we want for the young guy. And then, of course, like I said, Brandon Ingram's out due to the concussion protocol, in which he suffered that concussion during that same game in which Zion got ended last week versus the Utah Jazz after running into his teammate after going after a loose ball. So that was it, mainly for the most part um, for the I guess you could say the NBA's current report in reference to injuries. So, of course, there was a slate of games last night, 4 to be exact. I think it was. Yes, it was 4. Speaking of the Clippers, Anthony, the Clippers took on the Oklahoma City Thunder, and Oklahoma has strung together, I think, 2 wins in a row as they dispatched the Clippers with the 118 to 110 W. Thunder led by Shea Gillius Alexander, of course, SGA, 24 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists on the night, 21 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists for Lou Dort, 15 points for Alex, 12 points for Kendrick Williams, 11 points Aaron Wiggins, and 14 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists for Trey Mann. The Clippers, led by Norman Powell's, 21 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 18 points from Reggie Jackson, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 12 points from Ezeka Zubac with 18 rebounds and 2 assists. Ezeka be cleaning the boards, man. Dang, I hate the LA let him go. I wonder who did they let him go for? I wonder who they let him go for. I got to go back and research that. How did Zubac leave? Luke Kennard, 10 points, 1 rebound. 17 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists from John Wall. Paul George, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. I think it was another game which Kawhi did not play, of course, as he continues to nurse injuries. It's looking like there's a possibility that you might have some lingering issues with Kawhi Leonard and this injury. When you're that of elite a player, I think sometimes these injuries kind of set you back in the recovery phase because you want to do so much to get back out there, and you don't let it properly heal. Or Father Time is undefeated, Mother Nature is undefeated. So when it gets together, it's a whole party, and you're not coming back. Yeah. Oh. So that was one of the 4 games. Another game last night, the Memphis Grizzlies. I sit and look at this, right? I'm finna get into it, but I sit and look at the Sacramento Kings, and I look at. Actually, let me get to this first. Memphis Grizzlies, hosted by the Sacramento Kings in Sacramento. It didn't go as well for the Kings as they took the L, losing 125 to 110. Grizzly led by 31 points from Desmond Bain with that heater knocking them down. 22 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists from Ja Morant. 16 points from Brandon Clark, 3 rebounds, 3 assists to go along with that. 14 points from Tyus Jones with two rebounds, 5 assists. 13 points from Jake LaRavia with 9 rebounds, 1 assist. 11 points, Dylan Brooks, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Steven Adams with the double-double, 12 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist from Santa Adama. The Kings were led by Aaron Fox's 27 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. 20 points from Harrison Barnes, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. 18.6 rebounds for rookie Keegan, for Murray. What else we had? 3 points for Terrence Davis, 7 points from Davion Mitchell. Malik Monk, 15 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists. Kevin Horter, 7 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. And Montes Sabonis, 11 points, 11 rebounds, and 1 assist short of a triple-double with 9 assists in their losing efforts. So I look at this, right? And I just think of what could have been. We had an opportunity, and I'm not going to say I'm mad or anything. We had an opportunity to draft De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox could have been a Laker. Now, if De'Aaron Fox was a Laker, would we had gotten our hands on Anthony Davis? Because you got to remember, we did trade Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, and Josh Hart to the and some draft picks to the New Orleans Pelicans for Anthony Davis. It did get us a championship, but overall, what did it get us? I wonder. I sit back and I think about this. Now going to that, now I think about it due to the fact that they end up sending off. They end up sending off. They end up sending off. Getting rid of Lonzo. Lonzo left. Gray got sent out. I'm very sure. I'm very sure. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Um, they started. They sent out all that, and I'm very sure some of the picks, which has brought them back. At this point, when you look at it, Chicago Bulls improved. The New Orleans Pelicans improved. Um, it's looking like Portland hasn't been improved, and the Lakers only have the championship. Mind you, the championship was in what is called, quote unquote, if you put asterisks up, if Bishop had anything to do with it, the asterisks up in the bubble to where last night, if you didn't see the quote, not last night, yesterday, after the Denver Nuggets took care of the Lakers with I think it was 11-point win. Guard Jamal Murray was just talking about how the Lakers are looking a lot different outside the bubble. So here we go again with the conversation about the bubble talk. But in any case, we'll get taken care of. We'll figure it out. I believe it's still early in the season, although you have some of the greatest players in the league on a team or a couple teams, because there's a couple teams out there that has some heaters, and yet they're dismal at this point. But we will figure it out. We'll get it figured out. But yeah, again, the Grizzlies get the win 125-110, taking care of business, knocking off the Sacramento Kings. Next game, of course, the Miami Heat travel to Golden State to take on the Warriors. The Warriors with the win, moving them to 3-2 on the year. Miami drops to 2-4. Led by Jimmy Butler's 27.6 rebounds, 8 assists. He had, of course, a great contribution from Bam Adebayo with 26 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 14 points from Max Struss, 5 rebounds, 12 points from Kyle Lowry, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 9 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists from Gabe Vincent, 8 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist from Caleb Martin, and Tyler Hero with 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. But of course, it wasn't a match. Steph Curry, 33 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. Klay Thompson, 19 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. 18 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists from Andrew Wiggins. 10.7 rebounds for 4 assists from Draymond Green. Kevin Looney was 7, 8, and 4 for the night. 10 points, 6 rebounds from the youngster James Wiseman. 6 points apiece from JaMychal Green and Moses Moody. Moses Moody with 4 rebounds and 1 assist. JaMychal Green with 5 rebounds and 2 assists to boot. Jordan Poole, 11 points, 1 rebound, and 7 assists in 21 minutes of play. Golden State takes care of business, getting the dub 3-2 on the year, early in this year. Miami falls to 2. Correction. Let me go back. Yeah, Miami falls to 2-4 in their efforts. And of course, the last game of the night, that probably was the best game of the night. In-state leads one team at 500, the other one at 20% of a win percentage. But what can I say? My team doesn't have a W. But in case, we're not talking about that. We're talking about that game between the Brooklyn Nets and the Dallas Mavericks, led by Luka Doncic. The other day, I was asked a question on here if I think Luka Doncic would be the MVP or would ever get an MVP. And I stated, of course, if he doesn't get it in the next couple of years, then he probably will never see it. I don't know if I need to fall back on that statement or what. But when you look at it, the Brooklyn Nets were led by Kyrie Irving's 39 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. Now listen to these numbers. Kyrie Irving again, 39 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Kevin Durant, 37 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. Contributions, 10 points from David Duke with 5 rebounds, 1 assist. 10 points from Royce O'Neal with 7 rebounds and 2 assists. 7 points apiece from Nick Claxton with 6 rebounds and 1 assist. And Ben Simmons with 7 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. 6 points from Emmitt Sumner and Patty Mills contribute with 3 points. 2 players, 35 or above, 35 points apiece. That's 70 points in my book. 70 points from 2 players. It's pretty good, especially when you score 125 points. The Mavericks, however, led by Luka Doncic, gets the win in overtime, 129 to 125. Luka Doncic, 41 points, 11 rebounds, and 14 assists, a 40-point triple-double. Tim Hardaway contribute 18 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 15 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist from Maxi Kleber, 11 points apiece. Spencer Dinwiddie, 3 rebounds and 5 assists, and Christian Wood with 6 rebounds. 10 points from Josh Green, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 8 points. JaVale McKee, 6 from Dorian Finney-Smith, and Reggie Bullock with 9 points, in which one of those shots was in overtime with the 3-pointer as Kleber, Bullock, Bullock, and Hardaway knocks down threes in the extended period to put them up on a 9-point lead, in which they never relented and was able to pull the game out. Of course, Luka Doncic assisted or scored on 80 points, which gains up to be the third most highest output in a single game, scoring and assisting of 30 points. He had his third career. This is his third career 40-point triple-double, which is tied for 6th in the NBA. And then last but not least, he's the second player in NBA history to record a 30.5 rebound and 5 assists in each of his first 4 games of the season. So he's on a tangent, Taryn. So does these numbers, these qualities, and these accolades amount to a player being MVP? An MVP. Definitely, I would say MVP caliber without a doubt. But does these type of scoring output and production amount to a MVP caliber? I know for me, when I first looked at it, I saw the back half of it, and when he did not take the shot to win the game before going into overtime, I was like, what is you doing? But when you look at it and break it down, he drew 3 defenders because they thought he was going to do that. And he had a wide open Reggie Bullock at the end of regulation. He just didn't get the shot to go down. But of course, like you said, he made up for it over the course of the game, in which he was able to take care of business and get one of those shots to go down during overtime. So again, Brooklyn gets the win. Correction, Dallas gets a win, 129 to 125. Other scores to be played. I think there's some games tonight. A pretty healthy slate tonight. 11 games. First off, you have the Atlanta Hawks will be traveling to Detroit to take on the Detroit Pistons. The Magic will host the Charlotte Hornets. The Washington Wizards will play host to the Indiana Pacers. The Boston Celtics will be hosting the Cleveland Cavaliers. Toronto Raptors host yet again the 76ers. The Minnesota Timberwolves will be hosting the Los Angeles Lakers. The New York Knicks for the Bucks. The Spurs and the Bulls will do battle in San Antonio. Denver will face off against the hot performing Utah Jazz. Trailblazer will take on the Houston Rockets, and the Phoenix Suns, of course, as stated before, will be hosting the New Orleans Pelicans in their arena for the night. So if I look at this slate and take my hand at trying to pick, in which I have been very, very, very bad at to start the season, I would say the Hawks. I think the Magic get theirs. Magic get their first one. The Wizards, Celtics, 76ers, Timberwolves, Bucks, Bulls, Jazz, Rockets, and Suns. So, of course, last but not least in this topic, and we talk about the NBA, an unlikely topic for the most part. The NBA has a NBA 2K league, right? They have an NBA 2K league. There has been a couple of players, as reported by ESPN, that have been disqualified due to betting on NBA 2K games, which is against policy if they are a player or a coach for that organization. An investigation found that Christopher LaFant, Dorian Earl Miller, Robert Nasty of the Blazers 5 Gaming, Keani Ingram of the Jazz Gaming, and Zarik Dennis of the Mavs Gaming were all wagering or had attempted to wager on NBA 2K games either on their own or through another individual, as it was stated. The 5 players broke that policy and will have been disqualified indefinitely. Additionally, the Blazers 5 gaming coach Andrew Maxey and the player Marquise Gill were also disqualified indefinitely from any type of league activity or play for failing to report the violations and or relenting to cooperate with the league's investigation. Basically, they probably was like, I'm not snitching. I ain't got nothing to do with this. Or they covered up. So currently 6 players and 1 coach suspended or disqualified indefinitely from the 2K league pending the investigation where they tried to bet on games. Correct. That is correct, Drunk. So basically that set them back to where now they're not getting any of those checks. I'm not saying they can't play 2K. They just can't play it for their league, for their league team. I want to ask Bishop. Bishop, are you playing for a tryout for the San Antonio 2K league? So, true, Drunk, but you got to take into consideration they are players for a sanctioned league sponsored by the NBA. So yeah, just like any other player, a real player that plays for the actual teams, yeah, they can't play. They can't bet on in league in for the on league games, their own league games. So check this out, Steve. Russ is not the problem in LA. Yeah. So now they just still gonna open the door for some other cats probably. But like I was saying, Steve, Russ is not the problem. I even said it before. He didn't play in the game versus Denver. Russ is not the problem. Yeah, that part, Anthony. So Russ is not the problem. I realized that prior to, but he's not the problem. It has nothing to do with Russ. He's not the solution for the wins right now until they're able to get in their mindset. They need to change their mindset, in my opinion. They need to change their mindset and go different. But Russell Westbrook isn't a problem. They lost. I won't say it's Darvin either, Steve. It's a Laker problem. It's a team problem. It's a team problem. That's why I just say it's a team problem. It got to be. It's not on Darvin. Darvin just got there, so he has to put it together. He needs to now. It's going to start to become his problem if he can't find a way to make it work. But it's not. It's not Russ. Or maybe you got to move some people and make it open to where it's be like, okay, you got to think Russ before coming to the Lakers was just had average a triple double. He gets to LA, and obviously he doesn't get to do the same things in which got him to LA, and that's being a problem. Now you're asking this man after 14 years to change who he has been. Like, let's take a look at this, right? Russ was able to live in the same atmosphere with Kevin Durant and James Harden and work their way towards being a pretty good squad. Then then what they do is now have presented a situation where Russ was brung to his organization, but he's not allowed to be that player that he was. Is it LeBron? I don't know. Lonnie Walker has been all right. He's been getting his buckets. True. He has had free reign over all teams except for where he is now. But he should be able to. If you come with strengths, and I know what your strengths are, I want to deploy your strengths. If Russell Westbrook averages triple doubles, an aspect of averaging those triple doubles is he distributes the ball, which will not in turn diminish the fact of other players getting the ball and getting the opportunity to be to shoot and score. But seemingly they're not getting the opportunity. Russ is a third option at this point. It looked like that third option is diminishing as each time I blink because Lonnie Walker has been filling up the stat sheets. At this point, Russ is a third option. So everyone has to change their mindset, in my opinion. It has to become a whole. It has to be a purge of egos and come back to the drawing board with what's going to work. Let Russ control the offense. It's a hard pill to swallow. And I'm sitting there watching it happen on my team. Will the Lakers be different? Let's say, will the Lakers be different if LeBron wasn't there and it was Russ and AD? Is LeBron the problem? Is Russ the problem? Is AD the problem? Is Darvin Ham the problem? Is it Pelinka? I don't know. Well, we need some help. Is it shooting? It'll all come out. Like I said, well, at this part, we're only going on our 5th game. So we'll figure it out. We're not the last. We're definitely not the worst. Defense is pretty good. Top 5 defense. We just need to come out the cellar in offense. So, but yeah, so we have that, of course. Moving on to NFL, our NFL conversation. Oh, hold on one second. What you say, Drunk? So, Drunk asked the question as me as a Laker fan, do I think the championship was worth the sacrifice of what you getting now? So, in hindsight, looking at where all the players are that we gave up, Lonzo is injured again. Lonzo's injured again, and he's out. Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram. Now Kyle Kuzma's gone. It's hard to say because if they could have got those championship, if they could have been effective, if they effectively could have got to the championship and into the playoffs and the championship and built on and continue on with LeBron as opposed to AD, like the term bubble keeps coming up in my head. And that being when AD was most effective and they were the bullies in that yard. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Excuse me. So there's the bullies in that yard. I don't know. At this point, I would say the championship was worth it. But in my mind, I think long term, no, it's not. Um, Let me see. Moving on. Going to the NFL. So, like I said, NFL, we know there was a game last night. We'll be get to momentarily. But first, I'd like to talk about a couple other things. Again, like I said, looking at what's in front of us with these scores, right? Looking at what's in front of us with these scores. With these injuries, I continuously look and see, and we have a situation. So, of course, over the course of the last couple of days, as long as you wasn't under a rock, a couple of trades was made that might have been shifting. The Philadelphia Eagles received defensive end Robert Quinn for the Chicago's 23rd and 24. Corrections. Let me backtrack that. The Philadelphia Eagles received Robert Quinn from Chicago, sending them a 2023 fourth round pick. Of course, when you look at that, can that be a detriment? Robert Quinn has not been the player that he's been in the past, but when you put him on a defense that holds their own, and he brings and what he brings to the table, they probably can be pretty dominant, or even a little more dominant than what they are now. Of course, Roquan Smith, linebacker for the Chicago Bears, was very broken up and almost you could say heartbroken and emotional at losing his defense mate, who has been with him since he's been in Chicago. Another trade, the New York Giants trade wide receiver Kadarius Toney to the Kansas City Chiefs for a 3rd and 6th round pick in next year's draft. Now you add to the fray another wide receiver with formidable speed, to do is work underneath. Kadarius Toney now, Juju Smith-Schuster, Travis Kelce, Scantling. I can admire the way that Kansas City is moving the pieces around the board to try to be better or get better in the AFC East. Correction, AFC West. Uh, they just got a little better, I think, in my opinion. But he has yet to be seen. Going back into the good and bad with the injuries, yo. So of course, Dallas Cowboy running back Ezekiel Elliott is due to miss um, this week's matchup with the Chicago Bears, as he is dealing with a knee sprain injury. So he will not be in uniform. I could assume that the starter is going to be Tony Pollard. He's going to start for the Dallas Cowboys and do his best to hold the line while Ezekiel Elliott's out. Maybe this is an audition. Maybe he gets an opportunity to show what he's got, even to get a W or not. But show if he can be effective back or starting back. Another unfortunate situation, Cincinnati wide receiver Jamar Chase will be out 4 to 6 weeks with a hip injury sustained in week 6 versus New Orleans and re-aggravated just last week versus the Atlanta Falcons. Potentially, he could be placed on IR, which that guarantees him at least 4 weeks in which he will not be on the roster. He'll be on the roster, but he won't count against the roster. So that way they can bring in another. Excuse me. Sorry. So they can bring in another. That way they can bring in another player, whether it be a wide receiver or someone else. So Jamar Chase out 4 to 6 weeks with a hip injury. Green Bay running back Alan Lazard is out with a shoulder injury, which he sustained last week versus the Washington Commanders. Of course, this is bad timing as Aaron Rodgers only believes he could depend on 2 players on his offense at this point, and Alan Lazard was one of them. The other one being Aaron Jones. Currently, Lazard leads the team in receiving yards with 340, receiving touchdowns with 4, and tied for the receptions lead with 26. They are already currently, when it comes to their wide receiver room, they're already currently without Randall Cobb, who is expected to be out at least 3 more weeks with his ankle injury. Rookie wide receiver Christian Watson has been out the last 2 games with a hamstring, but he is possibly looking to play. So maybe they do get something back, or they got to just move some stuff around. They still have Dobbs as well, so maybe they can recover, but they have a tough test as they face off against the Buffalo Bills on Monday night. But like I said, there's a good and there's a bad part to it, or a better part. New England quarterback Mac Jones has been named the starting quarterback as he comes back from his injury. So he will face off against the New York Jets, as well as Washington, the Commanders' defensive end. I know you're going to like this, Anthony, if you've been paying attention. Washington Commanders' defensive end Chase Young is due back 21 days from next week as he looks to continue to recover from his ACL injury. And the defense probably needs him, but at this point, Washington is just on the cusp. So maybe it does do them some good to have Chase back in the fold. Probably be able to help them out and help the defense to hold some of these offenses to a lesser point output and give their offense a chance. What else was there? Hey. Additionally, of course, when you look at it, um, Thursday night football was played last night. Wasn't too bad, even though although I know the rhetoric is a lot of time that these teams are not putting on a good show on Thursday night football. A lot of people think that's continuously is a bad show after a bad show after a bad show on Thursday night. I don't know if y'all consider last night's game to be a disappointment. Um, but in any case, the Baltimore Ravens took on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as it was a change, a flip flop of the records. The Ravens going 5-3 on the year with a 27-22 win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which drops them to 3-5 in their campaign. The Ravens uh, led by Lamar Jackson's 27 completions on 38 attempts, 238 yards with 2 touchdowns, 11 carries by Gus Edwards, 65 yards. Kenyon Drake was 7 carries for 62 yards. Lamar was 9 for 43. Devin Duvernay, 2 yards, 2 carries for 33 yards with the touchdown. Justin Hill, 4 carries with 28 yards. What's good, Lissette? What's going on, bro? Um, unlikely source, Isaiah Likely, rookie tight end, led the Ravens with 6 receptions, 77 yards, and 1 touchdown. Demarcus Robinson, 6 for 64. Mark Andrews, going out early in the third, did muster 3 receptions for 33 yards. Devin Duvernay, 4 receptions for 31 yards. Um, James Prost, 24 yards, and Kenyon Drake, 4 receptions for 5 yards, 1 touchdown. Excuse me, sorry, had such a long night last night. A long night. Um, the Buccaneers, Tom Brady, 26 for 44 for 325 yards with a touchdown. Leonard Fournette rushed 9 times for 24 yards and a touchdown. Rashad White, 4 for 19. Mike Evans, 6 receptions, 123 yards. Chris Godwin, 6 receptions, 75 yards. Leonard Fournette, 3 receptions, 34 yards. Rashad White, 23 for 24. Julio Jones had the only touchdown thrown by Tom Brady. A late reception. But 2 for 21 for Hughes Jones, Cade Otton 2 for 15, Scott Miller 2 for 13, Brashard Perryman was 1 for 11. Uh, it was off. I guess you could say some of the things. There was definitely it seemed like Tom Brady and Mike Evans were off during their interaction. Of course, running the wrong routes, maybe some mental midget here and there. I don't know. What's good, Bishop? Why you going, bro? Can you hear me?
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You, I can barely hear you though.
I
I
can
don't
hear you.
know. Uh, what's up, bro? I can't hear you at all. Hold on.
What's good, Ron? What's good with you, bro?
Yo, yo, yo.
I was just
Glad to
talking about.
fall in the formation.
I was just talking about last night's game.
I
You good now, Bishop?
I think so. Hold on. Let me see. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. What am I trying to do? I forget. All right. I think I'm good. Um, yeah. What's good, man?
Oh, nothing much, nothing much. Just was talking about last night's game.
Yeah, man. That game was that game was something else, man. I didn't know. Turn right. I really thought. Then turn right on Farm to Market 7. I really thought Tom Brady and them was gonna get the win. and I was gonna be upset about my pick. The market 725. But I see Lamar Jackson came through and did what he needed to do to get the dub, so I'm not mad. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I definitely agree. And the thing I thought about going with Tampa Bay.
You almost went with Tampa Bay too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. After I sent what I sent to you, and just so you know, the same. I was having problems with my stuff, internet yesterday. And remember, I told you before that for whatever reason it won't pull up the E2G on StreamYard.
Uh-huh.
It did the same thing yesterday. For whatever reason, I couldn't even find E2G on StreamYard. So either way, but anywho. Yeah, I was a bit worried. I was a bit concerned because I didn't know if Lamar Jackson, because they started off sluggish. They started off real sluggish last night, so I really didn't think they was gonna be able to pull it off. The Tom didn't look all that great. I gotta give it to you now, Trey. It's like what we like 8 games. What we got about 8 games left.
What's that number? That's number 8. So 9 games.
Okay, so 9 games left. So with that being said, it's safe to say that you said what you said about Tom Brady, and it's coming to pass. It's definitely coming to pass. Tom Brady is not. He definitely, Mike Evans missed a lot of passes last night. He dropped a lot, which was very unusual for Mike Evans. Um, but it is what it is. But I'm glad I got the dub. So let's go Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I know y'all was worried. I know y'all needed to hear mine, wanted to know what mine was gonna be. But
Actually,
I came on
actually,
through.
we
I was
made
supposed to
we
pick
made
Tampa
we made
Bay,
our
but I
we
waited.
made our picks before you. Actually,
Yeah, but I know y'all was really anticipating what I was gonna pick. Because I'm the GOAT. You know what I'm saying when it comes to picks. So being that I'm the GOAT, I'm sure I know Ron is ahead right now, but the season we still got 9 more games left. So I'm
Oh,
gonna
I
catch
love
you.
the
I'm catching
competition.
Ron the professor. I'm going to catch you. It's coming. It is coming. And with that being
Oh,
said, you know
we.
what I'm saying? I'm coming. I'm coming. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do
It's a
in my
good thing
in
it's
my in
Pick 'em
my
Friday.
ISOs comment. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do. You know what I'm saying?
We want all the smoke.
so Ron, what you think about last night's game?
um, I feel like it was a heart and brain game for us. In our heart, we all wanted to see Tom Brady get a win.
Mm.
It don't make sense that they keep losing, but when it comes to our brain, the Ravens is a clumsy football team, but they're better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers probably at just about every position except wide receiver, healthier defense, healthier line, younger quarterback. Um, I wasn't shocked at all. I was shocked with how many points they scored. 27-22 was a pretty high scoring game. But we finally got a good Thursday night, so we can be grateful.
I could second that. I was thinking there's still some people who thought even last night wasn't even a good game for whatever
Uh,
reason, which was interesting. Um, but in any case, like I said, Lamar took care of business. He got me some points as he got me an early lead on Bishop in the first formation league, so it put me out in front already.
ooh,
Gives me the opportunity to set the tone to make a comeback.
it don't look like he's sweating over there.
Yeah, oh, he's going. Don't worry, he gonna have something to say after once it's all said and done. He was at his reign. He was running. He had track shoes on for a second.
Grip ran out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. He set up and he took off too early.
Slipped on the hurdle.
Hmm. So of course we had that. Uh, like I was saying earlier, a lot of teams is basically going to be without. Jamar Chase isn't playing. Lazard isn't playing. Ezekiel Elliott isn't playing. So I guess that's going to be some key things to know ahead of picking. But of course, Kadarius. Matter of fact, Bishop. Why look like he in Kansas in a hurricane, a tornado? What, Ron? What did you think of the Robert Quinn trade?
Egregious. The rich
Yeah,
got richer. Chicago got stupider, as always.
Chicago look like they're just stockpiling. They're getting trades and pulling up stuff here and there. Like, uh,
I understand they got a fifth, or I think it was a fourth round pick, but
yes, for
I feel like for somebody like that asset of Quinn, you could have brought in some offensive help in a trade with him to help out Justin Fields. Could have
mm,
tried to steal a wide receiver or something from somebody, but they want them picks. Don't ask me why, because they don't pick well. But
and then of course the New York Giants trading Tony away for a fourth and a six. I mean a third and a six. What do you think about that trade?
he went to the Chiefs, didn't
Yeah, to the Chiefs. I'm sorry, Tony to the Chiefs.
he? Ooh, everybody's loading up.
Like you just said, the rich get richer.
Chiefs loading up. The Niners is loading up. The Eagles loading up. I'm just waiting to see what the Rams and Bills do now. But I guess the Odell.
Odell is the next domino to fall. I wonder where does he go? As it was rumored that he was going to Buffalo, or Buffalo would have been his selection. We
To
know it won't be.
live and die in LA.
You know it won't be. I guess a standard. Bring back CMC. Bring CMC back. I think he's done, bruh. Y'all good though. Carolina still has DJ Moore. Think about it. Christian McCaffrey leaves, and in the same breath, y'all get a convincing win. I wonder, are y'all able to string that along and get another W this weekend?
Not gonna be able to do it.
So, uh, like you said, Chris McCaffrey, or like he was saying, or like yeah, you were saying Chris McCaffrey, uh, in LA. Odell Beckham's definitely the next domino, in the succession. I believe. I don't foresee him going to Kansas City. Of course, stranger things can happen. Um, outside of LA, where do you see him, or where would you like to see him go?
The Giants, but he doesn't want to play with Daniel Iron,
Okay,
so that's why I'm pretty confident in
him
LA.
staying in LA.
Yeah. But if
So
he was gonna play anywhere, I would love to see him back in that giant red and blue as they're balling this year.
yeah, because I wonder why did they get rid of Tony? Like they need receivers. Slayton's out. Tony was supposed to be their next best thing. I guess they should have Galladay, or did they release Galladay?
They still got Galladay,
What
making
are
it
they
seem like
doing?
they're making room for Odell, but that still would mean get rid of your receivers. That's a confusing move.
Especially unless they have big. Brian DeBall has big. I mean, Polis has big plans for splashes for those picks. Um,
Yeah, they're run oriented. I think, as executives, they probably like, we'll be fine, prepare for the future even more. We like our core. And he wasn't a fit. I don't know.
uh, so of course, like I was saying, um, Lazard's out, Jamar Chase is out. Enter T. Higgins. T. Higgins now has a great opportunity to show up and show out. And that makes me feel even more so better about some moves in which I made of late to where I traded away Jamar Chase because I felt T. Higgins was formidable enough and Jamar Chase was able. Now, he got the day I traded him away, he did get 28 points. But hey,
Who'd you trade Jamar Chase for?
I got who did I trade? I traded Jamar Chase away and I received let me see. I received who did I bring in? Um Devontae Smith and David Montgomery.
Power to you. What an interesting trade.
Mm-hmm. Devontae Smith and David Montgomery. David Montgomery is what I wrong in. And I still have Travis Etienne and James Conner on the roster as well. And Damian Harris. I just picked up Damian Harris. Oh,
Depth,
I just picked up Robinson as well.
the
So
depth move.
yeah. So but maybe you'll bring me something because I'm not doing too good in that league anyway. Won and got my first win last week.
I think I
Uh,
made a splashy trade for DeAndre Swift in the first formation league. I don't know.
you
I wanted
did.
to cancel it.
I wonder who did you trade with. Let me see something.
I don't think he's even coming back. I made that trade weeks ago. He just accepted it.
Oh,
I never took it down.
oh, they just accepted it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I told you before, I was trying to break my neck trying to get to. I, I had to break my neck to get to that trade. I was like, no, Ron, don't do it. I was
Cold
like,
blooded.
no. As soon as so it sounds like y'all temperature picking up there. I mean, dropping a little further there.
Oh yeah, it's freezing.
Yeah, it's cold here. I had to go out last night. I mean, I know it's no comparison to y'all, but I had to go out last night because after we finished with our intramural flag football, I had to go out and open the gate. I forgot to take the key and unlock, and it was 55 degrees when I went out at 1 o'clock in the morning yesterday to go lock that gate. It was 55
Man,
degrees. I was like, man, this is not life.
55 degrees at night. That sounds like a blessing.
Oh my goodness. So where we at? So of course we can. I think we can get to this, and then we maybe double back to someone we ain't get a chance to talk about because I like to pick your brain on some things. But of course, uh, we got games over the course of the weekend. Um, we always had the Ravens and Buccaneers. So of course, another overseas game. The first one that's up. The Broncos will be facing off against the Jaguars in where is it? Germany, I think. Is it Germany? Or London? It's not London. I think it is Germany. In Germany, um, Russell Wilson will be back behind center. Although the Jaguars have been stringing along, it coming up slowly but surely, getting better and better every week. It seems like. Is that enough to get a W versus the Broncos, or do you think the Jaguars are victorious?
You know, this is an ugly game. Um, excuse
Bless
me.
you, brother.
This is a must-win game for Nathaniel Hackett.
They
His
talking about
job is on
firing
the
him
line.
already.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Hmm. I, I really. Denver's a dumpster fire. I want to go with the Jags. I feel like you got to go with the Jags here.
Uh, that makes two of us. I'm on the Jaguars too. I guess we had to get Bishop's. I had to get Bishop's picks. Uh, so I agree. That's in the Jacksonville. Next up, Miami Dolphins. Tua back at the helm, facing off against the Detroit Lions. Amon Ross St. Brown should be back, um, but they are looking dismal at the wide receiver position. Dolphins and Lions. Who you got?
Dolphins easily.
I agree. Tua should be picking off where he left off at. Next up, the Carolina Panthers keep pounding. Now facing off against the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta is the home team. Does Carolina get another W? Can PJ Walker take care of business? If you talk around, you muted. Am I?
That
Oh,
was
there
the
you go.
Falcons game.
Yeah, Panthers and Falcons. Carolina. Yes.
Atlanta all day.
ATL. Without Christian McCaffrey, I'll agree with this one. I'm not going to even second guess it. Next one. Of course, the Arizona Cardinals playing the Minnesota Vikings. Do we get a skull for this one, or are we going to have go big red? Cardinals, DeAndre Hunter. Hopkins, DeAndre Hopkins. Connor's back, or does Minnesota continue their dominance?
Ooh, we gotta talk about this one. What time is this
Okay.
game at?
This game is it's a 12 o'clock game in Minnesota.
12 o'clock game, Minnesota. So it's not prime time. We're gonna have to go with the Vikings.
Mm. So that's to say the Vikings don't do well in prime time?
Not necessarily the Vikings. It's more of a Kirk Cousins problem.
Okay, gotcha. Hmm. So I'm very sure this game is in prime time, but it'll get put in the air. The Chicago Bears will be going to Big D. Do we see a situation without Ezekiel Elliott, like we said? Is there a possibility that Chicago gets another win to stay in the winning record or winning game record, or does Cowboys take care of business?
This is in Dallas. I'm gonna roll with the Cowboys.
Likewise, we're going to need his name not to be stated. It's just say CMC. We need time to grieve. Dallas. Uh,
Is he
next
out for
up,
the year?
who? No,
CMC.
just no. CMC is still good. He was just no. CMC is good.
Oh, okay. He's
He
saying
just
he
talked
missed
about
on the Panthers.
with on Panthers. Uh, the Las Vegas Raiders, New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. Do you think James Steele is not the starter? The Raiders coming to town after Josh Jacobs 3 touchdowns. Do you think Las Vegas take care of business in the dome?
This is another dumpster game, man. Whew. Saints are at home. Jameis still not starting.
Nope. They already named the starter.
Let's go with the Raiders.
Go on LVRC. This is one of those times where I needed Bishop's vote to sway me one way or another. Like I said, it's a dumpster fire. Devontae Adams. I don't know if Marshawn Lattimore is still out. Uh, but the Saints, man, they not. I'll go with the Raiders as well. Uh, Next up, Philadelphia Eagles, Pittsburgh Steelers, battle for Pennsylvania. Is there an upset brewing? Do we see
Ain't no
the
way.
Eagles get their first L? Not buying it. Don't believe. Don't believe in fairy tales, kid.
Mm-mm. Philly roll. Philly roll.
I agree. Next up, New England Patriots, New York Jets in New York. Does Mean Green continue to roll? Does Belichick find a way? Mac Jones back at the quarterback. Billy Zappi benched.
I think the Jets is going to take a major hit losing Brees Hall um,
Mm-hmm.
in their offensive production. Patriots is coming off a pretty embarrassing loss. And this is Bill Belichick stomping Browns. I don't think he loses these games.
Mm. I
Corey Davis is out.
I think he can. I think they do get L. I think Salah finds a way to win. Uh, Moore probably becomes the victor in this game, coming back uh, into the fray. I think New York can pull it out.
Ooh, I'm on the opposite end, sir. I'm rolling with Belichick.
We're duly noted in written. Tennessee Titans, hosted by the Houston Texans in Houston. Do the Texans get another W?
Texans versus
The Titans.
Titans easily.
Tennessee, Tennessee. So I don't. This one shouldn't even be an issue or a problem, but yet it is. Interestingly enough, the New York Giants will be traveling to the Pacific Northwest to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Can Geno Davis continue to roll and keep a stranglehold on the NFC West, or does the Giants take care of business and help us out in the NFC West?
Ooh, are they on the road
Yeah, the Giants are on the road.
against Seattle? Game of the week. Will Gino get it done? Ooh, MVP candidate Gino. Looks like the Giants is going over there with our offensive tackle. I would like to see if DK
Mm-hmm.
Metcalf is going to come back and be healthy. I'm going with the Seahawks.
Ooh, that's a pretty bold move there, Ron.
They don't
You think
lose.
Seattle got it like that? Uh, of course, next up, four more games, well, three more games because Monday night we don't do till Monday night. The Washington Commanders will be facing off against the Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis, as both teams are with starting quarterbacks, different start quarterbacks. Taylor Heineke for the Commanders, Chase Ellinger. Ellinger for the Colts in his first start. Can the Colts take care of business?
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Um, ooh, is Carson Wentz playing in this game?
No, Carson's out for
No, for the
another
rest of
3 weeks,
the.
another
Okay.
3 or 4 weeks.
Wow.
So it's Taylor Heineke.
I'm gonna go with Taylor Heineken,
I agree.
and I would like one too, sir.
Anthony, call your mans. Tell them don't let us down. Uh, Last two games, probably pretty good games. One being the San Francisco 49ers rolling to LA to take on the Chargers. Take on the Rams. Um, do you see a situation where San Francisco sweeps, or do you think it's going to be a split?
We all know dang well it's gonna be a split. Let's go Rams. At home, trying to give Big Brother a couple body blows.
See, this is where we split again. First time we went opposite ways. This time we go opposite ways. We should have it no other way. I'm hoping that we can dispatch with the ideal of Christian McCaffrey being in our offense and having a week to work and be built into the game plan. I'm going with San Francisco. And of course, the night game, biggest prime time game, the Green Bay Packers and that bad man, Aaron Rodgers, will be traveling up the coast, East Coast, that is, to Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills. Ron, is this a possibility for Aaron Rodgers to upset when he has only thing he has in tow is Robert Tunyon and Aaron Jones, or does Allen continue to roll?
Allen continues to roll.
Yeah, I think defense is going to make a difference on this one too. What's good, Eric? What's going on, bruh? Glad to have you, Big Formation family. Glad to have you in formation, bruh. Yes, I think this one don't even. I think it's a a dragging actually when you look at it. Applying that pressure, and then if they are able to win this game, then my hat is going to be off to the floor and Rodgers because you got to think about the execution and the game planning that is going to take in order for them to pull this game off with a motley crew at that. So if Aaron Rodgers is able to pull this game off, I'm going to be thoroughly impressed. Eric's cost Vikings. I figured that, Eric.
Shocking.
Against the Cardinals, we figured
Well,
that
no,
it
it
was going
wasn't
to be.
that shocking because Kirk Cousins ain't in prime time, so we don't got to worry. Easy win.
So you know what? I've been holding some right. Let me go back to this. Um, Not necessarily NFL, but it's of course sports NBA. I've been following this group, this joint called Basketball Tip Off, right? And Basketball Tip Off gave what they perceive to be the top 75 players of all time. Interesting. Very interesting. Their top 10, I just get a top 10. If we want to go a little further, then we'll talk about it. But top 10, their top 10 greatest players of all time: Kevin Durant, Bill Russell, Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, LeBron James, and Michael Jordan. Do you detect any lies, Ron? Mm.
One more time, quickly. My bad.
Top 10. Their top 10: Kevin Durant, Bill Russell, Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, LeBron James, Michael Jordan.
Oh, nothing egregious on that list. Most people would say put Kobe a little bit higher, way higher. No Tim Duncan.
No, Tim Duncan is actually number 11. Steph
Wi-
is 12. Steph is 12.
Wild that Kevin Durant is ahead of Tim Duncan and Steph. That's inaccurate.
Hell, I look at this. He was ahead of Akeem Olajuwon and Giannis as well.
Yeah, and maybe I can't even say it's based off skill because Steph will be higher.
David Robinson is number 25. Karl Malone 22. Dwayne Wade made top 25. Is Dwayne Wade a top 25 all time player?
I don't think so. Who was 20 to 25?
20 to 25 is Kawhi Leonard, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, Dwayne Wade, Moses Malone, David Robinson.
Kawhi Leonard is number 20. Wow, they done moved all the old heads back. Put
This is
the
definitely a
young
millennial
guns.
list.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
Dirk is 18. Jerry West is 17. Kevin Garnett is 16. Oscar Robertson 14. The Dream is 13.
Okay.
So their top 25 is Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, Shaquille O'Neal, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Kobe Bryant, Bill Russell, Kevin Durant is the top 10. 11 through 20 is Tim Duncan, Steph Curry, Hakeem Olajuwon, Oscar Robertson, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kevin Garnett, Jerry West, Dirk, Julius Irvin, Kawhi Leonard, and then 21 through 25 is Barkley, Malone, Wade, Moses Malone, and Robinson.
Wild list.
And then they have, of course, Luka and Jokic are in top 40. Allen Iverson is in the top 30. Chris Paul is in the top 35. Anthony Davis is top 40. Tracy McGrady is top 45. Grant Hill is top 45. Dwight Howard's top 50. Jason Kidd's top 50.
Did they put Russell Westbrook in the top 75?
Is Westbrook in the top 75? No, he is not.
Sounds about right.
Nope, he's not in the top 25. Klay Thompson's top 75. Tony Parker's top 75. Paul Gasol and Reggie Miller top 75. Ray Allen's top 75. No, it's Ray Allen's top 65. Correction, 70. Gary Payton's top 55. Hardaway's top 60. Paul Pierce's top 60. Chris Webber's top 60. Dame Lillard is top 55. Oh, I stand corrected. Russell Westbrook top 40.
Russell Westbrook is in the top 40.
Mm-hmm. Westbrook at number 39 on this list. In which they also had a tell me if you agree or disagree, the overrated team. This is the overrated team. At guard, LaMelo Anthony. I mean LaMelo Ball. At the other guard, Ben Simmons.
Yikes.
At small forward, Klay Thompson. Correction. Well, 5. It's I guess you interchangeable. So they have LaMelo Ball, Ben Simmons, Klay Thompson, Chris Middleton, and Cat. That's overrated. That's the overrated squad. All over NBA, all overrated 2023.
I don't like it. The list could be improved.
And then, of course, lastly, they speak and talk about point out yet again another situation where they talking about how Jamal Murray said the Lakers look a lot different after the bubble, outside the bubble, with the shots fired.
Jamal Murray been back for 2 games from capping already. You look a lot different after the bubble, sir.
You know what? That is a fair assumption. I like that, and I will second that.
Of all people.
So, of course.
When the last time the Denver Nuggets been to the finals?
They haven't. It's just that.
It's the audacity to come out and talk about King James. Oh, the peasants are rising up.
That's what it is. What was what is that show with the Kraken? Clash of the Titans, when they said they stopped praying to the gods and they was weakening the structure.
Yeah. The peasants is weakening the structure. I could see if it was like a Devin Booker or a Giannis that actually, been in championships. But Jamal Murray, the audacity, sir.
Trump said he got 2 months still. He tears his ACL. He one more injury away from being John Wall from drunk.
One game away. Oh man. I guess that's how bad the Lakers is, though, on the opposite side. That the peasants is coming out and running their mouth like this. It must be really bad, on the court watching it happen. But the Lakers get the Nuggets, I think Sunday. So y'all make sure y'all don't lose that game. How about that? Which I don't think they are. The
So, like I
Lakers
said,
is bad.
they called that was the overrated team. This is the underrated team.
Underrated. Underrated.
Christian Wood,
Oh my god.
Valanciunas,
Oh my god.
Markkanen, Bane,
Mm-hmm.
and Brunson.
Mm. I would sub out Brunson for Garland. I like Garland and who was
Oh
the
yeah,
other guard?
Garland. The other guard was Bane.
Yeah, definitely, definitely my number two. I can't think of any guards that's more underrated than them. And I
He
will
got
actually move
he
Brunson
got a
to the
strap.
overrated team
Really?
and take Ben Simmons off because I think Ben Simmons is properly rated.
Mm.
Trash. We all know. So what are we overrating about him? Lori marketing underrated. I don't like these teams. We should do a better job.
And a shout out, shout out to Basketball Tip Off for some of the content this morning. So they have a top 5 MVP candidates already through 5 games, Ron.
Oh, I like Spicy P on that underrated team. Take out like a marketing or somebody, but we gonna keep moving.
Yes, so they have a top 5 MVP candidates through their first 5 games. Interesting, interesting, interesting. So their top 5 MVP candidates through 5 games:
Ooh, I want to guess
Dame,
them.
Dame Lillard,
Dame.
Booker,
Yeah,
Tatum,
yeah.
Giannis,
Of course.
and Ja.
There goes our winner. Where's Luca at, y'all?
After last night, bruh, I thought about when Leslie asked me the other day, "Do I think Luca would ever win a MVP?" And I said it has to happen in the next couple of years. Is he?
Multiple.
Is he a talent unlike what we thought we've seen before? Like are we basically looking past Luca because he's already here? Are we just looking past him like, yeah, okay.
I think when we gave him the name Legend, Luca Legend,
Hmm.
it was that was that close the book. End of it. We just put this man on the same pedestal as Larry Bird, Larry Legend, Luca Legend, and he's oh, I can't wait to watch him in the playoffs break some hearts. Because speaking of somebody that actually does get it done in the playoffs, unlike Jamal Murray, don't go in there playing around with Luca. It'd be Luca and the janitors, and he put that work in all by himself.
And last night, like they said, they expected him to take the last shot. He kicked it out and showed his selflessness. But also, he had a 40-point triple double. If you have a triple double, that means you're sharing the ball in state, in my opinion. Clearly, because you at least got 10. You at least had utilized 10 opportunities to get someone an opportunity to get the ball in the hole outside of yourself.
14 opportunities, sir.
Yes. Well, I'm just saying in general, just
Yeah,
when you
I
hit
know.
but last night he amounted to 14 opportunities, and not to say that he didn't amount because you got to think the one of the opportunities that was given was Bullock's last shot to take care of the game in regulation, and he went too long. So yeah, so who know who really underrated? Is Reggie Jackson underrated?
Definitely underrated.
Top 5 talent we will never ever seen touch a basketball. Luka is better than Larry Bird. We're not gonna do that drunk. We're not gonna do that drunk. Luka better than Larry Bird?
No.
Stop it, drunk. That's millennial talk.
Larry Bird was on a couple all defensive teams. on top
Larry
of doing
Bird.
everything Luke was
Larry
doing.
Bird was that dude, man, and he got receipts. Like cats still talk about it now. Like some of the Kemp, Peyton.
Until Luca pissed somebody off so much that they got to go get Dr. J to put him in a headlock so they can start going off on him because they just so frustrated they can't do a dang thing. And Luca still got credentials to get.
Yeah, Bird was that dude.
Somebody gonna fire off on Luca one day. Oh, absolutely. If I could put that bet in that one day somebody gonna try to punch and hurt that man because he just dancing on him. It's surprised nobody wants to try, touch up Steph. Well, I guess LeBron did in his own way. Um, but
But Steph is a darling, so they're not going to do that. But Luca is built. It come from a different type of upbringing. It's like I don't think we're gonna see a. Well, I don't know. I guess it depends because he kind of fell back when who did he fall back on? Was it the one of Morris? Who did he fall back on when they pressed him about something, and he kind of like
I
fell back.
can't remember.
But he tends to jump in everyone else's face, so he picks and chooses. But yeah. Who do you think was the greatest bust, Ron? I'll give you four names. Who do you think was the greatest bust in NBA? Out of these four names, we have Anthony Bennett, Greg
Bennett,
Oden, Adam Morrison, and Darko Milicic.
Sam Bowie.
Like you said, I think it's Bennett by no. Like Bennett, I don't even know how that even happened. Like, really, Bennett?
In regards to the whole aspect, I'm gonna go with Darko because it's pretty
Really?
crazy. Just because it's pretty crazy that he got drafted ahead of not only D Wade, Melo, Chris Bosh, a couple other dudes, but the Detroit Pistons could have been the Golden State Warriors of the 2000s with that proper draft pick if they would have just picked up Carmelo. Oh my gosh.
So,
Um,
are we saying that Darko was trash, or he just didn't live up to his draft position? Because
Both.
Anthony Bennett was trash.
Right, 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 right. Um,
I think Darko just didn't live up to that stock. Like you just said, like when you look at what came behind him and played out, like yeah, he wasn't that dude. But was Darko trash or was he just
in,
did
in,
not live
in
up?
my in my perspective, with drafting Anthony Bennett, it's not like LeBron James and Kobe Bryant was getting drafted after him. It's not like
Okay, I get you. I get you.
how'd y'all draft him when he
How
was
did
there?
y'all
It's
make
like
this decision? Like, where did y'all
right,
set up? Like, what did y'all scouting do? Must have been crazy with his write ups must have been like immaculate.
right. If we was on the Cleveland Cavaliers staff, we would have been like, okay, I guess we drafting Bennett. Um, if we in the other ones, we throwing we everybody was going crazy. The whole Detroit Pistons. And I'll put Sam Bowie in there too, just because.
So Darko, 468 games, averaged 6 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Eight, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years. 14 years he played.
Great career. Shout out Darko, getting them checks. I wish I was 7 foot too.
Oh my goodness. Who else? Bennett. That's unfortunate for Bennett. He only played 3 years, four teams,
That's
four
an accomplishment in its own. 4 years.
151 games, four 4 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, average career average. He played on four teams in 4 years as a number one overall draft pick.
Vomit.
Cleveland, Minnesota, Toronto, and Brooklyn. And Odin, of course, he was just derailed. It's unfortunate for him. Let's see, Odin. Odin was one. He had 3 years. He was injured. He came back in 26, so he actually only played. He was in the league for four. Correction, 7 years, but only played 3 of the 7 years. 8.6 rebounds, 1 assist.
They could have drafted Kevin Durant.
All for Portland, except for the last year he played for Miami. He went to Miami. The 1 year he played in Miami, and then of course my man's Adam Morrison. He went a a college championship, a college player of the year.
Gonzaga. Yeah, they put him on the video game covers and everything. I was uberly confused. Wild era.
Morrison 7 game, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, average in 161 games over the course of 5 years. It's crazy what but his problem was a mental situation, right? Wasn't he mentally
Morrison?
yeah, or he wasn't just trash. He was just had he couldn't deal with the rigors of the seasons, correct?
I do not believe so, sir. I
Or
don't
the
think he had any issues like that. I
or
thought his
he
issues
couldn't
was
live up
more
he couldn't live up to the
melanated.
hype.
I thought his issues was more of a melanated issue.
It's like I gotta play against all these.
Stop it. You're supposed to add fuel to my fire. I apologize. Adam Morrison was a great NBA player. I don't think he had any mental issues. 7 years? I thought he at least got to 10, though.
Start, bench, cut in their prime. Wade, Clay, AI.
I'm not sitting, cutting, doing anything with Allen Iverson. He's starting every time. Goodbye, Wade.
I was about to say you got to think shooting over. That's a tough one. I think I'm in agreement with you, bro. Like, yeah,
Dwayne Wade is heavily overrated. I can't believe he was on that top 25 list. Well, I don't know. No discussion for another day. No, there's a lot of guards. There's a lot of guards, Trey. And we often say D Wade is the closest to, well, no, not the closest because there's a Kobe Bryant, but a version of MJ. But
mm-hmm.
we can get through a lot of guards that we like and feel like should be ranked higher than Dwayne Wade. I
I
think
like
it's
that.
because his body died down on him.
Who the Wade, D Wade?
Right, like we got one
But that's the same thing
healthy
that happened to
year.
Tracy.
Exactly. Except Tracy didn't get to play with LeBron. We got one healthy year of Dwayne Wade in 2010 with LeBron, and then from there it was downhill. As much as we throw shade at LeBron, like that was a sucky situation. It's like AD all over again. Prior couldn't live up to expectations.
You know what? And we probably can close out with this because this conversation probably can take us out there. What do you think in reference to the career of Grant Hill and what that could have been? We got to see a glimpse. We never got to see Grant Hill and Tracy McGrady. I wonder what that would have been. But honestly, no, because what happened was because Grant Hill wasn't there, we seen Tracy McGrady's greatness because he had to carry the team. But do you think that we could have seen? Do you think that would have been championships? Because we have foreseen some championships.
This was the era of Shaq and Kobe, so definitely no championships. They probably would have been the best team in the East, though, easily. Over the Bucks and Ray Allen, AI and the Sixers. Um, they still would have ran into a brick wall when it came to the Detroit Pistons
Mm-hmm.
run that was up and coming. And we also had the Pacers, which was a pretty dope team. But yeah, I feel like they would have been better than them teams, but they wasn't taking no rings from Shaq and Kobe. We were struggling to try to take a game from them. They wasn't beating that team 4 times. However, they did once upon a time have Tim Duncan on a flight to Orlando. Tracy, Grant, and Tim Duncan. Oh, we would have been talking about a different squad to three-peat.
Because
But
T Mac and at least T Mac and Duncan would have played together.
Orlando did not want to let Tim Duncan's mom in on the plane or come
The
to
wife,
Orlando.
yeah,
Some egregious. Y'all
the
lost.
wife couldn't, come on the team flight with them. Tracy McGrady was never really a number one. Tracy McGrady was created in the image of McGrady was in the image of Hardaway, Penny. And he even
uh,
said it. I watched this joint the other day on the pivot. He um he talked about how he enjoyed that's who he looked up to was Penny Hardaway.
you know
That
who
was
I
his
think
idol.
who I think of modern era because he said Tracy McGrady's not a one, and
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to register that because I'm like in my head Tracy McGrady was basically like Kobe Bryant, so Kobe Bryant wasn't a one either. But then I slowed down. I'm like, you know what? Tracy McGrady's actually like a Paul George, like a Jason Tatum, like a Booker. I don't
Okay.
think any of those guys is actual number ones. It's hard to find like a number one consistency, dependability, everything that goes into being. We could go through it. We probably got like 10 to 12 number ones in the entire NBA. Like if we're saying number one is what you can start and build a championship around.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we say that's Tracy McGrady, we already know the answer. He never got close. We might have to say the same thing about Joel Embiid.
That's interesting. He said T Mac Hill and Duncan would have worked out like Durant, Hardaway, and Harden and Kyrie.
Stop it. That's disrespectful to Tim Duncan's name. The most postured. He's the Tom Brady of NBA. He would have brought the culture. He would have brought everybody the unity, all on the same page. And Grant Hill's a Duke guy. He don't want no smoke. T Mac would have got to live his fullest and be as colorful as he wanted to be. Oh, Durant, Kyrie, and Harden, all divas. Every single last one of them. Durant, Kyrie, Harden. Who's a diva out of T Mac, Grant Hill, and Tim Duncan, Trey?
Yeah,
None of them.
that's it was all kind of gritty.
Yeah, I like that take, Drunk. Yeah, most definitely.
So of course that's coming to our time today. We greatly appreciate y'all rocking with us. A little shaky as we of course Bishop was in and out. But we hopefully he'll be here Monday to talk about. I know he's gonna be here Monday, especially if the Philadelphia Eagles win. Um, I know we'll be here to talk about it. Um, any last words before you get up out of here, Ron?
I'm we ain't really you probably was talking a little bit earlier. The games tonight,
Oh yeah.
I'm putting together a last minute betting parlay. This might be my first NBA one of the season. I got the
Ooh.
Sixers to get a revenge on the Raptors and win by 1.5. I got the Cavaliers upsetting the Boston Celtics tonight.
I said that.
Utah Jazz is really good. They're going to stay within 8.5 of the Denver Nuggets. I don't think they lose by 10. And the Trailblazers to beat the Rockets by 4. I like it. 4 strong bets.
I could rock with those. I mean, in fact, I'm gonna have to take a look. I got some cash in my wallet on the parlay, so I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Uh, Well, it's like I said, that's y'all our show. We greatly appreciate y'all being on with us. Be sure to check us here. We'll be here right back here Monday, talking about in the NBA, NFL, of course the World Series. So they should have two games ready and cocked. Uh, will Houston already be ahead by a couple of games? I don't know. We'll see. Um, as they go continue their quest to get their their fifth in in 7 seasons. Um, Be sure to be here. Y'all know where to find us every day, all day, 09-1100 hours. We'll holler at y'all. It's me, your boy Trey, Ron. I'm very sure Bishop and Hart. Y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Be safe out there.
Falling.